Hello everyone, welcome to episode 16. I've actually put in a reasonable amount of work since the last two episodes, and I've added a mod. As you can see from the Wayla tooltip, it's Chris9126 Light Bridges Indoors. Honestly, I don't really have it here for any real, serious or functional purposes. I just have it here because I think it looks cool. And I've also got it guarding this, so monsters just can't kind of pop up out of an effing hole. And I've also got it guarding my my canola farm from nasties, should they decide to, break into my place. So, what kind of progress am I talking about here? Because it can't just be adding a mod, can it? Well, you're quite right, actually. It's not just a mod. Let's, okay. So I don't have any additional coal blocks. As you can see, I made a couple of controllers for this. I do plan on expanding it at some point. Or on expanding my upstairs ME network and my upstairs area in general, because honestly, it's just way too damn small. But downstairs, as you can see, yes, I am making some jet fuel. Although I did have to kind of grind things down by hand, which it's not a bad thing, I don't have this fully automated just yet. I'm using a shaft or a AC electric engine with with two 8-to-1 gearboxes, which should give us, I think, 32 to 1, and it's all set to speed, as you can see, to provide the fractionator with the amount of speed it requires, which, as you can see, is 8,192 rads a second. And I've sealed off the reservoirs with glass panes. Not really because I needed to, I just kind of like it, and because I can walk in the center box without falling in. Which, always handy to have. So, what do I really plan on doing this episode? Just see, I kind of got a little small canola farm, just for a little bit extra when I want to top things off a little bit. My farm seems to have been running rather well. I'm gonna get a handful of these, about 16. There we go. And plop them into the fractionator. Oh. And as you can see, she's running. It's not terribly fast, but it'll work for what I need it for. Thankfully, I have been playing in a creative world for a while, just kind of testing a few ideas, because I wanted to work with a bedrock breaker. Now let me sleep here real fast. And the reason I wanted to work with a bedrock breaker was so I could get, higher tier stuff. But let's see here. You can use bedrock dust for a variety of things. Pressure heads, which you can use to make a compactor, which you can use to turn coal into diamonds, and a few other very useful things. An afterburner for your gas turbine. You can make bedrock blocks, but, well, I guess, if you want to make a few special things. You can also use it to make bedrock alloy ingots, which are usable for, making tools and whatnot. Bedrock shafts, very handy. Bedrock gears, which, again, also extremely useful. The shafts and gears can be used to make, bedrock shafts and gearboxes. The great thing about those, they can handle unlimited torque and speed. Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. You can also use it to make a really high ratio gear. I think it's 256 to 1, but it eats lube really fast. And another useful thing you can make with the bedrock shafts is this, a CVT. Let's get our handbook out. And let's go to transmission. And you see the continuously variable transmission is kind of like a gearbox in that, it turns torque into speed and vice versa, or vice versa. But you can see it can do up to 32 to 1 in a single block. And it also only ever needs 1 bucket of lubricant. You don't need to constantly supply it. So once you can get bedrock shafts, make the hell out of some CVTs. All you really need to run them, I believe, is just some belts, which, let's see here, maybe tools? They should be around here somewhere. Various dust. Oh, hell. Why the hell am I using this? All I really need to do is... There we go. Belt. All you need is some leather and some iron. Not iron, but steel. And you get 2 belts, which is damned handy. And belts can also be used with the belt hubs, which are these, but they can't be put outside because of rain. I'm not sure if they... What the hell? That's strange. I'm not sure if they require lubricant or not. I would think they would. As you know, belts need to be lubricated and all that, but again, don't quote me on that. But you can use that to transfer power over long distances. But it only can handle so much, and chains are simpler to make, and all they really require is steel. And they're also impervious to rain. So, what are we going to need to make our bedrock breaker and to break bedrock? Well, number one, we're going to need a shaft down to bedrock. Not a very tall order with our good friend the atomic disassembler, but we're also gonna need a few other things. Most notably, we're going to need some water wheels, which are called hydrokinetic engines. As you can see, they output 16,384 newton meters of torque, which is good because this requires that much torque. But as you can see, it requires 4 megawatts of power. Now, you might be thinking, well, hydro doesn't output 4 megawatts of power. You're quite right. It outputs an eighth of that. So, what we need to do is daisy chain them. Well, you can do that, but you can only chain up to 4 together without a upgrade, without a bedrock upgrade. So you can see where this is going. And you cannot shaft junction them together because each hydrokinetic engine counts as an individual engine. And the shaft junctions can only handle 4 engines. And that blows them up. So how are we going to combine their outputs together? Or are we going to need to break into, I don't know, gas turbines? No, we don't. Why? Because of this mod, ElectriCraft. In my little creative world, I found a way to, and this may be an exploit, and chances are this may be fixed by version 4 of RotaryCraft and or ElectriCraft, so, if this doesn't work for you, that is why. But basically what we do is the induction generator takes in rotational power from RotaryCraft and turns it into electricity. The induction motor does the exact opposite. It takes ElectriCraft electricity and turns it into rotational power. But as you can see, most of the wires, except for superconductors, have voltage loss. and can only handle so much current. And since we need that 4 megawatts of power, any loss is unacceptable. But we don't need superconductor. Why? Because you can put an induction motor right onto an induction generator. And you can already see where I'm going with this, because the motors count as only one engine. They're not aware of anything to which they are connected, via the induction generator. So you can combine those two engines and make them even more powerful. But there's a problem. The hydrokinetic engines require lubricant. As you might have guessed, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, because it does consume a fair amount of it. But I have a way to fix that. And I will pause this here, and I'll be back once I've got some things ready. Alrighty, I believe I've decided what we need. Compost. You can use leftover wheat, which actually that's a pretty good idea. I'm not sure if we can use seeds or not, but I think we might be able to. But as you can see, I want to use the composter machine, which turns various forms of organic matter into compost with the help of yeast. This machine, as you can see, requires no power, just the right temperature, between 40 and 70 degrees Celsius. And I don't think it uses seeds, so that's unfortunate. But really easy to make. Very, very easy to make. 3 base panels and some steel. And 1, 2, 3. And that's an uncrafting table, which I got from the Twilight Forest. And bam, composter. Now, compost is used by ElectriCraft, or is basically ElectriCraft's equivalent to fertilizer. I mean, not fertilizer, my god. Bone meal, there we go. So 37 degrees Celsius. That's not adequate. And that's also not adequate for breaking that. I had nearly forgotten that. It needs to be at around 40 degrees Celsius. So we need to dig deeper. So we're gonna kinda just do gonna go maybe this room's starting to get a little cramped, I think. Well, let's just kind of go back here. 2, 3, 4, bam, 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 bam. And yeah, I'm just going to ignore the ore for now. I don't really need it. Let's switch this to fast mode. Then we can just kind of, charge right the hell through it. I love hearing the sounds of magma cubes dying. I hate those little guys. Is this good for you, Mr. Composter? 43 degrees Celsius. Perfect. It needs to be kept between 40 and 70, so all we need to do is let's kind of spruce this up a tad and make it look a bit more presentable. And then we'll just kind of dig forward a little bit. God, I love how fast this thing can be. It's so useful. Boing. And then we just kind of go break, break, break. So much fun. And since this thing doesn't really, let's see, yeah, needs light in here. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. And I think it was F. 7. Yes. Alright then. And then we're gonna oh my god, mine, idiot, mine. We're going to mine out anything that's not stone. And just kind of replace it with cobble. We're gonna put our composter here. And get that aluminium. And let's get that iron. Boing, boing. Hey, there we go. We didn't get it because we might as well. I mean, just because we don't need them doesn't mean they aren't useful. So let's just kind of nick these ores here. Besides, it's not like placing stone is a pain. Honestly, I think dealing with gravel is more of a pain than placing blocks, because gravel's kind of a pain in the ass. Yes, 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 big bad blaze. Hey, alliteration. So, what are we going to use for our organic matter for the composter? Well, I think I am going to use the sugarcane, because we're getting tons of it, and it works with the composter, so we don't really need to worry about any compatibility issues. So, you know, it makes life a lot simpler. The fewer things we have to deal with, the better. So, we're going to kind of put our ores in here to be ground down and sort. And let's put our coal ore in that. Because for some reason it seems to go from bottom right to top left with the logistical transporters. I don't really understand why, but you know, it's not a terrible thing. So, let me get a few of the things I'll need and I'll be right back. And she's working! Although I don't have it fully automated yet, I've got the export bus set up for both sugarcane and yeast. So all I really need to do is find a way to get some of the yeast that is output from the fermenter here into the ME system, into a barrel with a storage bus. So how are we going to do that? Well, if memory serves, I think it's under utilities here. Reservoir, scale chest, lamp, cannon, grindstone, pneumatic item pump. There should be an entry somewhere. There we go, sorting machine. It just requires a DC engine. Easy enough. Source dropped items into one of the three sides. For large stacks, it transfers one item per tick. This full stack takes 3 seconds. As you can see, it's not terribly expensive, just a circuit board, a hopper, 2 steel, and then 2 base panels. So, I should, in theory, that's, actually, how's our ethanol supply doing? I just want to look. That's a decent supply. I think that works. I think that works a lot. So what are we low on? Nether dust, tar sand, magma cream, ethanol, coal. It's out of coal. Okay, that's not much of an issue here. It can be low on coal. I don't really need to be making tons of that crap. So, while the composter is just kind of clipping along, doing its thing. So, yeah, sorting machine. Derp. Excuse me. Do I have any spare circuit boards? I do not. So, That's just kind of crap. We're out of electrum, but we do have plenty of ender pearls. I managed to kill a couple of endermen, I think. Yep, 30 ender pearls. That's enough for me. And I should have some hoppers I stole from a dungeon. 2 steel, 2 base panels. And that should net me 1 sorter. Bingo. Okay. Oh, we just need a DC engine. Just gonna clear this. So we'll just need a shaft, 2 base panels, 2 redstone, and a torch maybe, just in case. And oh yeah, excuse me. Went blank there for a second. It happens occasionally. I don't really know why. So we got our steel. Bam, bam, bam. Slam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. We got everything I need to run our sorting machine. So, well, this is gonna be real compact, but it should work. It should work. So, we're gonna disable this temporarily, so it's not constantly sucking things out. Actually, let's just kind of break the engine, just to be on the safe side. So, we're gonna get our sorter. We're gonna put her here. I believe, yes. And while we're at it, let's switch a few things up. Let's put the power for this, so let's see here. So it's less in the way. Get that, get our lever, and there she goes, she's alive again. Okay. I should get some yeast. Whatever. Yeast to blue side. Let's get a screwdriver, see if it helps us any. Let's see here. Let's break this, because I think the side with the hole is the input. Let's see, there's blue, that's green. Therefore, red must be yeast, as well as blue or green. Okay. That's a disgusting sound. Sorter might not work, actually. That's distressing. Hum-de-the-hum. I want to do 2 things the same way. Bingo. Don't need this. I have an idea. If that doesn't work, then should be able to plonk these in here. Do I have some logistical transporter pipes. Let's get ourselves a logistical transporter block. And with any luck, mechanism should save the day. So, we're going to put this in there. There we go. That. Get a wrench, just in case. That. Let's make ourselves a barrel. A Java barrel. Because those are, well, as the name suggests, those are better. So we got ourselves our Jabba barrel. We're gonna get ourselves a storage bus. Okay, so we've got the two types of pistons we need. Do we have? Okay, we've got annihilation. We need formation cores. Formation requires a logic processor, so we're gonna get logic. We're gonna get a gold, a redstone, and silicon. Silicon press. Actually, I should also get the cables. I got our silicon. Logic. Actually, does the storage thing require cables? No, it does not. Okay, good. So you got logic, circuit, and then bam, bam, bam. Slam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. That'll get us our formation cores. And bam, and that should give us an interface, which we then use to make storage bus. I love storage buses. They're the handiest friggin' thing. They really are. So, how are we going to set this up? Well, what I figured was we would get our better barrel here. We get our logistical transporter. There we go. The filter item stack, and we key it to yeast. Save. Auto eject is on. It should then send yeast either to here or here as needed. And let's turn round robin on. Why you no go in? Oh, there we go. Let's just kind of plonk some crap in there. Store some of that. I'm so glad these are micro blocks. Makes life just simpler. And now let's see here. Let's just go from these, shall we? Oh, damn it. There we go. So I think this should have enough channels on it. Let's not disrupt things if we can avoid it. So we're going to get our cable right around here. And that's good. And hopefully this works. Yes, it's device online. Are any of these off? Device online, device online. Let's check. All seems good. Excellent. We're gonna eat ourselves some food. And this should be working perfectly. So, we're gonna pop upstairs. We're gonna get our last bit of cable that we need. We don't really need the yeast anymore. Don't need the logistical transporters. Actually, let's get a knife, and let's say, doesn't really matter what kind of ingots we use, so just make a ton, whatever. And we need 4 cable anchors, and bam, 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 bam. Let's get a half stack of facades. We pop back downstairs and cover this all up so it looks nice and pretty. Ugh. Go on the right side, damn you. So the only real bad thing about these facades is kind of hard to get them set up right sometimes. But we got and bam. There we go. Now it's all covered up. We've got our yeast going to a new thingy. And this should be providing yeast to our ethanol system. Now we can route few things around. Excuse me while I get prepared. Return! Cable anchors! Handy little things. Keep all the lines separate. So we're gonna pop it down here. We need to drop it a couple of blocks. Doesn't really matter how we dig, so we'll just kind of dig simply. We'll get that there. Bam, bam. Nothing wrong with the simple way. Let me jump up, bam, 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 bam. And it should be getting supplied sugar cane and and why you nougat? Okay, there we go. You know, I think I have a couple of speed thingies I built a while back. I may go grab those and put that in there just to kind of help things along, as it were. First, let's get this set up so we know where to put our facades. Right there and right there. Along here. Along here. And there we go. And bam. And we're out of facades too. Not much of an issue, but you know. You know, I could probably plonk a storage bus on that. But let's just kind of nick some compost. And let us show you its power. Once I gather this. Because I don't think it'll work on magical crops, because it works like bone meal. And magical crops and bone meal do not mix. In fact, I think it deplants them. Or rather, uproots them. Compost? Hello? Oh, that's right. I think you have to actually use the fertilizer machine for them. Again, not a huge problem. We can manage that. So we gon' jump upstairs here. Besides which, we need some example compost anyway. Since we're going to be making yeah, let's make another barrel, shall we? But first, let's make a storage bus. Because that's going to take, you know, a bit more, I think. Yeah, because we're going to need to make... Let's make a couple of more pistons. Because I have a feeling we're going to need them. And let's get some sticky pistons. There we go. That gets us a storage bus. A better barrel. Where are you at, barrel? There you are. It always switches place. It's one of the odd, annoying things about NEI. And let's get... Well, we don't need much of this, because I plan on using it intelligently, but, you know, you never know. It's always good to be careful. Always good to be careful. So, we're just going to kind of put our barrel here. This is kind of a hack, and actually, I want it facing here, so we can see where the compost is. We're going to put compost as our little rule there. Put our cable there. Put some compost in there. Lock it. And actually, we should do that with the other barrel we put down as well. Just in case. So there we go. We got our compost barrel set up. Now we just need another logistical transporter, because we don't really need to bother with AE for this. And use up yet another channel, so let's get ourselves a logistical transporter, and hopefully it orients itself properly. It's, again, this thing could be a little bit derpy, and of course it effing didn't. So let's put it like, why you gotta be a pain, huh? okay if I click you from below? No. That's the wrong orientation, idiot. No. Seriously? There you effing go. Of course. We're gonna get new filter, item stack. Again, this is just to make sure it shouldn't auto eject. Again, this is just a making sure measure because I don't want to end up accidentally storing, sugarcane or yeast in there. Now that we got that set, we should be seeing compost. Excellent. Now then, we're probably going to need a lot more cabling, I would think. Well, not necessarily. It'd be cheaper to just use logistical transporters, honestly. So, what are we going to be using this compost for now that we've got it automated? Well, you see, there happens to be a little machine that I happen to like a lot. The fertilizer. Now then, it does require 1024 watts, 2 log 2 torque. So let's get a calculator here. 2 times log. Wait a minute, I don't think I did that right. Log. I think it's 4 Newton meters from a DC engine over log 2. There we go. That gives us a radius of about 4 meters off of just a DC engine. And if we shaft junction 4 of them together, that would give us 16 Newton meters. So let's do that. 6. And that would double our range to 8 meters. But we shouldn't need more than that. More than the 4 meters we'd get out of the the normal thing. And I think it has a maximum range of like 32 meters, and it works in all 3 dimensions, I believe. So, without further ado, we're going to get a fertilizer, and not the MFR variety, because that does not work with growth ticks, like this does. Yeah. So, we're needing a shaft, a chest. Let's just make it out of logs, because why not? We need shaft, liquid pipes, 2 base panels. 2 base panels. Just get a half stack of pipe. Shaft. Does it need anything else other than the impeller? Nope, okay. So, we can go grab our fertilizer. Now then, she needs water. But where does she take power from? I believe it's from the bottom. Yeah, power input is in the bottom, so we'll need some bevel gears, which requires gear, 2 shaft. Okay. Yeah, I should have plenty of gears. 2 shafts. Actually, I don't need the shaft junctions, I don't think. So gear, 2 shafts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base panels, and a piece of steel. Should get us a set of bevel gears. Yes. I only really need 1, so let's get 1, 2, 3, 4. A shaft, 2 base panels, 2 redstone, and a torch. No, that's a comparator or something, you idiot. There we go. That's what we need. Make ourselves a handy little DC engine. So, I'm going to go run some lines, and I'll catch you dudes in just a second. Well, shit. I've run out of time for this episode, unfortunately. It's going to be a little over 40 minutes long. You'll see a link for the Light Bridges and Doors mod in the description, as well as a link. I changed literally one thing for magical crops, so I'll be including a link to that changed script. So all you need to do is put that in your scripts folder, overwrite the old one, and add the mod. I'm just using the default config for the Light Bridges mod, so you don't need to worry anything about that. So, this is me signing off on episode 16. See you guys again for episode 17, where we shall embark upon our fertilizing journey and wonder what the hell is causing that problem. So, again, signing off. I will catch you dudes later, and have fun out there.